Sonos just released a new product that really changes the game when it comes to building a home theater on a budget, and I'd like to thank Sonos for sponsoring this video and sending over their new Sub Mini and the Beam Gen 2 soundbar for me to experience them myself. I'm B the installer, and in this video, I'm going to go over why the Sonos Sub Mini is such a big deal for those looking to enter the Sonos ecosystem. Then I'm going to talk about some of the specifications and features of the two products before I finally report on how it's been working out for me after a couple weeks of having them in the house. As someone who already owns the Sonos Arc and the Sub Gen 3, this Sonos Beam and Sub Mini combo will surely have to impress me. If that sounds good, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe and ring the bell, of course, and let me know in the comments if you're excited for this Sonos Sub Mini, and what questions you might have, let me know down below. So I have both the Sonos Beam Gen 2 and the Sub Mini here in white, as you can see, and I really like the design of both. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 is loaded with 5 speakers, one center tweeter that offers great high frequency response for dialogue and music, and then 4 elliptical mid-woofers that are great for mid-range. It also has 3 passive radiators to enhance those low-end frequencies. And at $449, this is a great speaker for those who want to break into the Sonos ecosystem and improve the sound quality in a bedroom or smaller living room over just TV speakers alone. It's a real night and day difference. But at the same time, I'm a big bass guy, and if I'm getting a Sonos soundbar, I'll also need a sub to go along with it. So that's where this Sonos Sub Mini is key. And it's pretty simple out of the box. You get a setup guide, a power cord, and a beautiful white or black matte finish Sub Mini that definitely looks and feels like a whole new vibe for Sonos, who are already known for some well-designed products. The Sub Mini has dual 6-inch woofers that face inward for force-canceling effect, which is pretty wild when it's pumping and there's literally no vibrations. The Sub Mini has 2 Class D digital amplifiers that Sonos says are perfectly tuned to the unique acoustic architecture of the Sub Mini. It also has a sealed cabinet to neutralize distortion and enhance bass response that can get as low as 25 Hz, which is pretty legit for a sub deemed a mini. Overall, it's just a really stylish and exciting subwoofer, and I want to get these two products connected and see what they can do. Setup was a breeze. I always connect the Sonos soundbar first and pair it with my TV, which creates a new room. So then when you connect the Sub Mini, it'll prompt you to connect it to whichever room that it's going in. The Sub Mini can pair with any of the Sonos soundbars, the Arc, the Ray, the Beam, even the 1s and the 5s, basically any Sonos speaker that can run on the Sonos S2 app. For my setup, I have the Beam Gen 2 and the Sub Mini, and I even added a pair of 1SL speakers for rears so I could really get the full experience of these new products. And you don't need to call an installation expert for wiring. You just follow the Sonos S2 app. It's very simple to do, and there's definitely some added value to self-installation on top of the quality of the products. I always play music first to get a feel for the highs and the lows and how various soundbars sound with and without subwoofers. After a little EQ adjustment, I was pretty impressed with how much sound comes out of the Beam, with it being considerably smaller than the Sonos Arc that I'm used to in this room. The Arc at $899 has a little bit more bass than the Beam, but for $449, the Beam has very good high and mid frequencies for clean sounding music. And this alone would be sufficient for most people with a small or medium-sized room. However, as I said before, I'm a big bass guy, and after adding the Sonos Sub Mini, it's clearly better. I expected nothing less from Sonos, but the Sub Mini produces significant bass evenly throughout my bedroom without any distortion, and it's definitely impressive considering the size and price point of the Sub Mini. Connecting the Beam to the TV, I was able to test out the full Sonos setup, including the Beam Sub Mini and 1SL speakers, and that was the nail in the coffin with regards to sound quality. The Beam Gen 2 is exceptional for producing clean center audio, making it easy to hear dialogue, and offers great high and mid tones that feel very direct from the screen, creating a tall soundstage with Dolby Atmos, while the Sub Mini continues to have clean, tight bass that can shake the room. I've watched a bunch of shows and movies with the Sub Mini, and at times I had to remind myself that it was the Sub Mini and not the Sub Gen 3 reproducing that low-end sound, which is probably the best indication of its quality and worth right there. So after testing this new Sub Mini and Beam out for over a week now, it's pretty simple who I'd recommend them to. The Beam Gen 2 and Sub Mini are a perfect match for each other, and both pack a bigger punch than you might expect. The combined pricing of $878 is the most competitive for a Sonos soundbar and sub combo that I can remember. There's no doubt that the high quality of the products alone makes them perfect for any medium or small room in your house. But now with the new Sub Mini coming in at $429, Sonos is now the more affordable option relative to competition in this market. On top of that, with the whole home connectivity of Sonos products in general, being able to connect multiple products and rooms together throughout your house wirelessly with no dropouts and typically no installation costs, there's even more reason to go with Sonos. This new Sub Mini really is a game changer for Sonos and for wireless audio in general, and I would highly recommend it. Now, if you have a monstrous room that needs max power, of course I would still recommend the Sonos Arc and Sub Gen 3 for many people. I've made videos on max Sonos power before, so check them out. And I've also made it easy for you to check out the new Sub Mini for yourself by putting different product links in the description below. So check them out if you're interested. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Does the Sonos Sub Mini at $429 make Sonos more appealing to you? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and set the bell to all to make sure you get all the notifications when I upload a new video, and I'll see you on the next one.